What's up, everybody? It's RobLive with the man behind the plan, Mr. James Chance. How we doing?
Try.
Bro, you do more than try. You're amazing. Appreciate you. PIC, you know what that means?
What?
Partner in crime.
Oh.
Talking about. So
this ain't a crime, though. This is a blessing.
Yes, it is. You know what? You're right. I gotta switch that perspective. Welcome, everybody. Again, like and subscribe if you love what we're doing. We try to remain consistent. So every Friday at 9 a.m., expect a new episode. And if that doesn't happen, I'll give you Jim's personal number. You guys blow it up. No, I'm just kidding. I'll take responsibility.
No, we'll get it out there. It's on clockwork.
Yes. So today I want to talk about the value of networking, you guys. When you go out and connect with individuals, you never know who you're going to run into. And I feel like there is something to be said about putting out a certain energy that if you're seeking something in this world and you actively put out this energy that's what you're seeking, it'll come to you. And so recently I've been networking and trying to connect with different individuals, some to get, the show out, some to get new guests, compelling, ambitious individuals. And also I have a speaking career. Jim knows about this because his wife was actually in the audience for my last keynote speaking. Remember the Impact program?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're still hearing about it. And not just from you. I'm hearing it from other people that were there.
Good.
So, yeah,
Thank you.
Good job.
And so with that being said, you guys, I've been putting out this energy lately that if I really want to get to the next level, if RobLive, with James Chance is going to go where it needs to go, I have to release some of the trauma that I carry from years past, right? Specifically the childhood years, right? There's some trauma there that can play into things. And so lately I've been like, okay, Lord, please lead me to some individuals that may be able to help me address that trauma and break free to the next level, right? And so with that being said, I go out to the Catalyst Network. Shout out to the Catalyst Network. Rose, we see you, right? As well as the other gals in there. And I'm going to make sure I name you all by the end of all this. Anyway, we're at this Catalyst Network, and there's a speed networking event. And so you have about 2 to 3 minutes with these different individuals from different walks of life. And so we had these question cards. I get to this next individual, and immediately I'm feeling an energy like this person has something that they're going to share with me that's going to resonate. So she starts talking about the different businesses she has, and that will allow her to speak in detail about it. But she said the T word, trauma, right? There's ways to address trauma, healthy ways, spiritually, natural ways. And I was like, oh my, and I was locked in. And her as my witness, she'll testify later to exactly how it went down. But I was like, you need to be on our show. She's like, you have a show? Right? And then, of course, the spiel. But I immediately gravitated towards her. And as the luck would have it, as the universe would have it, she's right here with us today. And actually, we have some other background connections as well, hometown work that I do nonprofit in. We have Mrs. April Gutierrez. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked on that, guys. I worked on that. So do you remember running into each other at the networking event?
Yeah. So when we first connected eyes, it was like, oh, next we're gonna go talk.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, because other people haven't met with other people. Oh, yeah. So
we got switched up.
So they're like, go with this other person, go with this other person. And then I think it happened again. And then they're like, no, go with this person, go with this person.
Twice.
Yeah. And then finally, we sat down and I was like, okay, finally we're gonna get to talk. And then I don't know what it was that you said, but it was like something, and I was talking about what I do with my yoga business. And it was like connection to motivation and inspirational speakers, Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins.
Oh, you mentioned
Joe
my
Dispenza.
guy, Joe Dispenza.
And I was telling you about how all his meditations helped me to actually start my second business and to just quit my job and go for it.
That is gutsy.
And then we started talking about all the stuff related to mindset and
That was it. It wasn't trauma. That came later.
It was limiting beliefs.
Yes. And Joe Dispenza specifically is a guy I listen to every morning when I walk the track. And he has a certain approach to the whole mindset, quantum physics and alignment that really resonates with me. And then you threw his name out there without me even mentioning it. And I said, okay, we've got to do this podcast. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And I know that you wear many hats.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to clarify first the different businesses and entities that you have. And then I want to go back to the beginning, how this all became to be.
Okay. Well, let me start with the one that I do the most, which is my bookkeeping business. I am a bookkeeper by trade. I've done taxes, payroll, bookkeeping, all that stuff in public accounting offices. And so I've kind of been in that space for 20 years or so. And it just started coming to a head where I was like doing the Joe Dispenza meditations. And I was like, this is not in alignment. This is not working for me. I had anxiety every day. And so eventually, like I was doing his meditations like every single day during work because I just needed that like break, that mental break. But also it was like helping me to move forward. You know what I mean? So then finally I started my bookkeeping business, just took a big leap and everybody thought I was crazy. So I did that. I already had the other business, which is a side business, was a side business, yoga. And I've been doing yoga for 11 years and I just knew right away I wanted to teach it because it helped me so much, you know, and it was because I was in that stressful space. I needed something to latch on to in order to be calm and not be frazzled. And like most of us are, right? Just going and being stressed out every single day and just going through the motions of going through the routine. So the bookkeeping I do love, but I was starting to do things that it was too much for me. I didn't like it. And now I've started my own business. I work like 15 to 20 hours a week in my bookkeeping job and maybe like 10 in my yoga at the most. And I just feel so much more fulfilled and have time to breathe.
Well, thank you for having the courage to pursue that. That's a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And I think that's inspiring for the rest of us who are like kind of on the edge, right? Should we take it? Should we take that chance? Should we take that leap? So I want to commend you for that. When we talk about yoga, I feel like, well, let's just do this. Let's throw Jim on the spot. Jim, define yoga for us. Describe what yoga is to someone who's never heard of it. Well, how would you describe yoga?
A bunch of people stretching and laying on mats and
that's easy to
yoga
think.
and whether they're spandex or leggings and
Leather
sweaty,
spandex?
sweaty and or you could say it's very therapeutic. It's very relaxing. It enters your deepest part of your soul.
Yeah.
And you release a lot of toxins and that sort of thing. So these are all things my wife's told me. So
Good.
Your wife does yoga?
we try. We try, but yeah.
So here's, I've had a little insight into this.
Yeah.
I have a friend and she's been going through kind of like a yoga academy type experience. And it's like, it's in the Bay Area.
Like training
Yeah, training.
to become a teacher?
Yes. And, you know, I live vicariously through that experience. And some of the things you're describing are not even physical, they're mental.
Yeah.
And so then I started to get this deeper understanding of yoga. And I'm like, I think it's a form of therapy.
Is
that accurate?
Yeah. And you know, you can actually become a yoga therapist, but that's, I think, more for physical purposes, not the mental. But really, when I first came to yoga, it was YouTube yoga. Did yoga with Adrienne. Shout out to Yoga with Adrienne.
Yoga with Adrienne.
She's my mentor.
I'm going to check that out.
So it was just one of those things where it was like, I was one of those people where I had a gym membership. I never went to the gym ever, and I was just spending my money, right? Was never going. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cancel this. Like, cancel it, move to the next thing. What can I do that doesn't cost money right now? And it was walking and meditation. And I don't know where I came up with the idea of meditation. Like, nobody told me about it. It just was like, I don't know, it popped into my brain and was like, do meditation. So I did walking and meditation, and that's where I started. And I wasn't like doing anything physically exerting. I wasn't doing yoga yet, which I didn't know. It actually was yoga. Meditation is yoga.
It is?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a limb of yoga. And then I want to say 2 or 3 months later is when I actually started doing yoga, because I was like, I need something more gentle, something I can ease into, because my goal was like, I want to be healthy. It wasn't like I want to lose weight, I want to look amazing. I was like, I want to feel good. I'm tired of feeling bad. I'm tired of being overweight. I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of being anxious and not feeling like myself, right? Excuse me. So, 1 second.
While you're taking that drink real quick, I just want to share that I know I put you on the spot, Jim, but
That's fine. That's
my
fine.
impression as well was that yoga was stretching, right?
Mm.
And it was a way to keep your body loose. And to me, the reason I gravitated towards some of the movements early on is because I feel like, you know what, you know how you really feel old is when you feel lack of flexibility, right? When you can't bend over without pain or you can't get up without grunting. To me, that's when I start to feel my age is those little things there. And I was like, okay, what can make me loose and flexible? Because that's really my goal at this point in life.
Do you ever hear? You ever feel like? Well, I mean, your parents. Do you ever sound like your parents?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever get that
Yeah.
when you get up off the chair? It's like, it's like, damn, that sounds like my dad.
Or
You
even
know?
some of the things I tell my children, right, that I thought I would never say. The ears have walls, children.
Oh,
They're
you'll say the
always-
same things.
I think
you
I
know?
might have said that once.
Yeah, my dad was like, if you don't like it, there's a door. And I was like, I'm so afraid of that door.
Did you throw that line out
Oh,
there?
I tell my students that. If you
Oh,
don't like
my
it, there's a
God.
door. You know, these are my rules. Anyways.
So getting back to yoga,
Yeah.
you were saying,
So, yeah, I was just tired of feeling miserable. You know what I mean? So, the goal was be healthy, feel better, and I'm sure it will come down the line. You know what I mean? So, I started doing yoga, and it was hard. It was hard. Like, I wasn't doing like difficult things like you see, like hot yoga, like all that stuff. I wasn't doing any of that.
what
Like-
are like the basic 3 to 5 beginner moves?
Okay, so the one that I had the hardest time with, well, two of them really. One was low lunge, like literally you have your knee on the ground, but it was so hard to hold for a while. Like I was like, why is this so difficult? You know what I mean? And then the other one was a forward fold. So you're standing and you like fold forward. And at the time I was like obese, so I, wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
And just the belly coming between the legs and like not being able to breathe very well. And
Yeah.
I just remember it being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So
But those are like foundational moves.
yeah,
like-
those are a couple of them. And then child's pose is definitely one too. And I really love child's pose. Traditional child's pose, you have your knees together, and that's hard too, because if you have a bigger belly, it's in your way, you
Yeah.
can't breathe. So then they have like wide leg child's pose, and you can you have a little space for if you have a little bit of extra padding in the
Yeah.
middle. So those poses I remember being difficult and thinking like, these aren't even like hard, but like why do they feel hard to me? And so it started changing like how I ate, because I didn't want to feel bad while I was practicing yoga. So I started like eating out less, and I started eating at home more. Like it might not have been the healthiest, but it was better than eating out, because there's all the processed stuff when you eat out, and it just makes you feel crappy. So I was changing how I ate. I lost like 15 pounds inadvertently just from changing how I ate, moving my body, and I wasn't doing like anything strenuous. So about maybe 6 to 8 months in, I started noticing how different I felt mentally, and my anxiety started getting less. And one time I remember getting on the mat, and it was the hardest day for me to get on the mat for some reason. Like I was like, okay, like just sit down and turn on a video. Should be that simple, right? Just sit down and turn on a video. So I did it, and I don't know what it was, but something she said on there, and it was the Yoga with Adrienne, and something she said, I was like, I just started crying. I just started bawling my eyes out. And I didn't realize how therapeutic yoga could really be. And it wasn't just the movements, because she always had like little nuggets of wisdom. You know what I mean? So that was really why I liked watching her videos, because I felt like this is more than movement. You know what I mean?
Do you
And so-
remember the line that triggered emotion?
I really don't. I just remember crying and thinking like, oh my God, this is exactly why I need this. You know what I mean? So that was, I think, around the pivotal point of me being like, I want everybody to go do yoga. Like,
Yeah.
I want to tell everybody. And then I tried, but people were like, yoga? Like, I don't want to go do
Stretching
yoga.
and sweating.
Yeah, they think it's stretching, right? So, I mean, and that's involved. That's definitely involved. So when I couldn't get anyone to go, finally, probably a year or so in, I was like, I think I want to teach this, because I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty good at it, and I really love it, and I want to share it with everybody. So that was my goal. And that kind of sat with me for a little while, because I didn't become a teacher right away. It was really expensive to become a teacher. Like, it's $3,000 or $4,000 to like
Wow.
become a yoga teacher.
It's like a full-on college tuition.
Well, they have online options now and they're cheaper, but I still feel like the in-person is probably a lot more like
Do we have schools here in the Central Valley locally you can attend?
they do have some like yoga studios that will offer it, but they're usually like 8 months long. They have you go do like a full weekend, like I want to say like
Like a retreat type thing?
yeah, like once a month or something like that, or twice a month. But the one I went to was an intensive. So I just was like, I took 3 weeks or 4 weeks off of work. I took a whole month off of work.
That's a
And
huge commitment.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I'm going to do this. Well, there's a story leading up to that too. So I decided I want to be the yoga teacher. I didn't know what to do. I knew that yoga teachers don't make a lot of money. So I was like, well, that's not realistic. And so I was like, how do I get into the fitness space? So I'll become a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So I got my personal trainer certification because the money was a lot, more reasonable to pay for certification. And I was like, I'll just like get my certification. I'll dip my toes into the fitness arena because it's kind of related to yoga and get some experience that way. So I did that. And then I started lifting weights during the whole health journey, right?
Yeah.
Like it was like walking, meditation, yoga, weights. And I tried my hardest to do it at home, but it was like I just had no motivation. I'd push my workouts till the end of the week. I didn't want to do it. And so I was like, okay, where can I go where they would lift weights and they'll like tell you what to do? And so I thought CrossFit because I'd seen a high school friend always doing CrossFit on Facebook. You know what I mean? And I was like, I needed to try out CrossFit. So I went and tried out CrossFit. The first day was miserable. I don't know if you've ever tried CrossFit.
From what I've heard with CrossFit, because I know know people who are instructors as well, is that they modify it to your abilities.
Yes, but it was still very hard because I was out of shape.
Yeah.
So even though I did yoga, that didn't mean anything, right? Because this is like fitness. So I tried out for the CrossFit, or tried out like I,
Made
like
the
I
team.
had to be
You
approved.
made the team.
I know. So I did the first little trial, and then I signed up, and I drove. I remember I was driving over near like Jack in the Box on Acres, and I told my boyfriend like, "Hey, I signed up for CrossFit for a month. I think I need to go back and cancel." Because it just seemed like scary because I remember I felt like I was dying and I was like, why am I signing up for this? Like, did I get peer pressured into it? And he was like, look, see it out for a month, see how you feel. And then if you want to quit, then you quit. And I was like,
Good
okay.
advice.
I know. I was like, okay, fine. And so what happened was I stayed. So I did that until
Wait,
about
this
a
was
year
Visalia?
ago. Yeah.
Was it the West?
No, I am there, or I was there now, but okay, so I was at Sawtooth. Sawtooth closed. And then about a year in, I went to CrossFit West. I tried out CrossFit Visalia, but CrossFit West was closer, and I really liked the community.
Yeah.
So I joined them.
Was that when Chelsea
Yeah.
and her husband?
Jacob and Chelsea. Mhm.
Yeah, so I worked with Chelsea over at Sierra Pacific High School.
Yeah. So Jacob's my mentor.
What?
Yeah.
To this day.
Well, he's the one who kind of pushed me into the yoga business.
The world is shrinking.
So
It is shrinking.
so I went and I joined the CrossFit gym, and I got really into fitness. I stopped doing yoga as much, and that was a no. Like I learned that the hard way. Like you got to keep doing the yoga because it's all about balance, right? So I probably a year and a half or so in had got my certification for the personal trainer. I'd finished it, got my certificate. And I reached out to Jacob because I had started at his gym, and I was like, look, I got my personal training certification. Would you have an opportunity for me? And he's like, oh, we can make you an assistant CrossFit coach. I have a whole like mentor program. We can go through it over 6 weeks, and then, you might be able to become a CrossFit coach after that. So I did that, and then I became an assistant coach for a while, and I was about to get my
Hold up.
certification.
You almost quit CrossFit and then you became a coach. That's quite the turnaround.
But I mean, the universe gives you these magical little like seeds, and then you like follow the path, you follow the little journey, and like you don't know where it's going to end up. So this all led to my yoga.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I tell them about that. I get the assistant CrossFit training program. I become an assistant coach. And so they were like, call me coach, And I was about to get my L1 certification for CrossFit. And then he sends a mass text message out to everybody. I just did goat yoga, and I want to do yoga at the CrossFit gym.
Oh,
Does anybody
wow.
want to be the yoga coach, yoga teacher, right? And I was like, oh my God, the universe is sending me a sign, right? So I was like, everybody said yes. Everybody wanted to do it. But I was like, hey, I want to do it too. I have 4 years of practice doing yoga, and nobody else had ever done yoga.
Qualified.
So, yeah, so I interviewed with them. I taught all the coaches at Jacob's house and did like a little intro session. I practiced on my friend before that because I was like, okay, what do I do? I've never done this. And from there, like I got hired. I was the coach, the yoga coach for like almost a year. And then probably 6 or 7 months in during COVID, he actually pushed me to create like a business name and start my own like DBA and all this stuff. And then around that time, I was like, I should probably get certified for a yoga teacher now that I'm teaching.
Yeah.
And so I actually taught myself to sew during COVID and created face masks
Oh.
so that I could earn money for my yoga teacher certification.
Nice. And
So
did it work?
It paid about half of my money towards like the flight
Wow.
and the actual certification. I got a scholarship.
Can we get an innovation round of applause for that one? That was amazing.
Yeah, so then, I mean, it was COVID, and I was supposed to go to Peru. That was the original plan, but Peru didn't open their borders to us, so we couldn't go.
For
And
the
they're-
training?
Yeah, and they were
Wow.
like, okay, we have one in December
Dang.
in Guatemala, or we have one, I can't remember where else it was, but it was in February. And I was like, well, I work for a tax office. I cannot be gone during tax season. Like, that's just a no-no.
Yeah.
So I chose the one in December in Guatemala. We went to Lake Atitlan. It was an amazing experience. Mystical Yoga Farm. Shout out to Mystical Yoga Farm. And I did a 3-week intensive. So I got my certification.
You're in Guatemala for 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, 3.5 weeks.
What was that
almost
like?
a month. It was amazing. I climbed a volcano while
You
I
know
was
what?
there.
My best friend's from Guatemala, and he says the same. Is that the thing when you go there? Hey, you want? There's Disneyland or climb the volcano.
Yeah.
I'll do volcano. Yeah.
So-
Eric, shout out to Eric Aldana.
It was the safer one, though. There was one where it was like,
Safer?
there was an explosive one that people would like climb up and like camp on overnight.
Oh.
And I was like,
my,
I'm definitely
my.
not doing that. Just getting me to go up a volcano to stay in a hostel. Like, I'd never stayed in a hostel before, but
The comfort zone was just gone.
and then you get to the yoga farm, compost toilets, and
What does that mean?
so like you go in the toilet and
Yeah.
like all the stuff that's from you gets composted and turned into fertilizer after so many years.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that, Jim.
They use like sawdust or something, like it's a whole process.
So I'll be like, these are crappy tomatoes. Exactly.
And they put all the fertilizer on the food that you eat at the farm. So I know.
Was the food good?
It was actually really good. Okay, so yeah, so it was just way out of my comfort zone. I got very lucky. I got like a private cabin. I didn't even pay for it, but I got it because it was COVID, and they didn't have their
Nice.
normal amount of people.
Upgrade.
Yeah, but there was scorpions and there was like huge spiders that were like almost
Now,
as
is
big
this
as your
typical
hand.
of you to just go off to another country? And
No.
This was what do you attribute this newfound?
I just wanted to do it. Like I wanted to get my certification, and this was the way.
Yeah.
And I originally didn't even think about like a destination location, but I looked for an intensive in the United States and they didn't really have any. And I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I might as well go for it. And I might as well go to another country.
And you were like, Guatemala it is.
Well, I mean, I wanted to go to Peru. I wanted to go see, Machu Picchu.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Machu
But I
Picchu.
didn't get to go, so I still haven't gone. But it was just like it's already going to be out of my comfort zone, like being gone that long, doing things that. But I just was so determined. So
Yeah.
everything I've done has been to enhance my yoga, to grow my yoga, to help people.
Yoga seems like it's been this
It's like a theme, right? We've through
that
everything.
that's pushing you to all
Yeah.
these other wonderful places.
Yeah, even the bookkeeping business, starting the bookkeeping business, I'm like, I can spend more time focusing on my yoga, and helping more people. So that's always been the goal.
So now you are a business owner of a yoga business and a bookkeeping.
Yeah,
You're your own boss.
yeah, I love it.
Wow, that is gutsy. To me, one of the big fears of being your own boss is like it's all on me.
Yeah,
There's no corporate, overhead that's gonna protect me and the
Right.
ups and downs. It's just on me. So kudos to you.
it's actually what lights my fire though, because if I feel like I'm working for someone else, like I don't feel motivated to
Yeah.
do
Like,
the
oh, I'm going to
things.
fill your pockets. Sounds great.
Yeah, but if I'm like, okay, this is my goal and this is like what's going to, create, my security,
Yeah.
then I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure it gets done. Like it just somehow like enhances my motivation to
Yeah.
to
It
get things
reminds
done.
me of a conversation I had with my students as an educator, just like I think it was Thursday or Friday. And it was this idea that, Jim, I don't know if you remember this, but Eddie Murphy was interviewed early on, the successful comedian. They said, Eddie, if you weren't doing comedy, what'd you be doing? He's like, there was never a plan B. And they're like, why wouldn't you have a plan B? He said, because if I had a plan B, as soon as plan A gets hard, I'm falling back. And to me, I look at you and you're like, all right, well, the buck stops with me. If the yoga studio is not profitable and the bookkeeping isn't profitable, it's on me. There's no plan B. There's no safety net. And so you go all in.
Right. Yeah, and that was actually my idea when I started the bookkeeping business because I wasn't going all in on the yoga because I had another job for 8 hours every single day.
Yeah.
And that was hard. And so when I made the decision to start the bookkeeping business, it was like one thing after another was like not feeling in alignment. So the culture wasn't working for me. The hours weren't working for me because I'm not usually on time to things. I'm always tardy. And so it was like one of those things where I was like, I don't want to have to stress myself out every single day to be on time. Like I can still work the full amount of time, but it was still hard to work 8 hours straight. Like I'm not built for that. You know
what I've also noticed about you, and I think this might be a yoga thing. Jim, you know what ergonomics is? Like where things are set in the way they. I immediately noticed when you walked in, you're very ergonomically driven,
Yeah.
right? Hey, are these headphones going to slide down?
Yeah.
Is that fan going to dry me? Is that
Right.
part of the whole yoga thing?
It's an awareness for sure.
Because the awareness was high, and I was like, wait, maybe she had me worried about stuff I never thought about.
Yeah, but you could get overwhelming because I used to have people I would know that would be like the stars have to line up, the moon, it
that's
has
too
to be.
much. That's too
It's
much.
like it's too hot. Let's wait until it gets colder, and then the winter comes. You're like, it's too cold. Let's wait till it gets warmer.
See, but that's where my CrossFit comes in, right? Because I'm used to discomfort. And that's what yoga's about too. Like even my yin yoga is about discomfort. Breathing through the discomfort.
Let's go. This is
Yeah.
uncomfortable. You ready? I'm going to do the downward dog in front of a yoga instructor. Okay? Does that sound comfortable to you?
No, not at all.
He's
Yeah.
going to do it.
Oh, you're gonna make me go wide.
Can we get the logo?
Yeah, right there.
All right. So this is what I know it to be. And
Okay.
then you fix it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? I'm
Okay.
just getting a free. You know what I'm doing? I'm just getting a free lesson. 'Cause I'm too cheap to pay. Okay, so I'm here.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? What do you?
Okay, hold on. Let me get up.
Because it's killing my calves right now.
Okay, so
This is a dead dog.
okay, so you want to bring your head a little more between your shoulders. So I'm going to gently
Whoa.
press.
Yep, everything's stretching.
Take a big breath in. Go ahead and bend your knees a little bit. There you go. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really want to be like an upward, like upside down V. And you're doing pretty good. But I can
Yes.
tell your
You're
shoulders
more
are
like a
definitely a
U.
little tight. Your shoulders are definitely a little tight, but usually you'd be able to like go a little further.
Like this way?
Yeah. Feel that?
Oh,
Big
Nelly.
stretch in the chest.
Woo!
All right, go ahead and bend your knees, come back out of it. There you go.
How do we do?
Yeah, pretty good.
0 out of 10. Give it to me.
Probably like a 4 or
I
5.
thought I was going to be 5. All right, we're going to work on that.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a little uncomfortable. Jim's like, what the hell? He didn't tell me he was going to do that.
But technically, downward dog is a resting pose.
That didn't feel like rest. That felt like stretching.
The thing is, the more you do it, the more consistent you are, the easier it gets.
I felt
Like
a really
anything.
good deep stretch in my calf.
Yeah.
The reason I started to try and do it as much as possible in my version of it,
Right.
because I keep hearing about older guys with the Achilles. What's it called? Pulling or was it? Is it ACL?
Yeah, plantar
Oh.
fasciitis.
Yeah.
And all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I've had plantar fasciitis.
And so I
That
was
stuff's not
told
fun.
if you keep that part loose,
Yeah.
that you can reduce the injury.
See, I
risk.
didn't even know that they were related at first because, I only know so much anatomy as a yoga teacher, right? We're
Yeah.
not kinesiologists. So I went to an acupuncture who's actually related to my boyfriend, and I went for the plantar fasciitis because I had it for like 8 months and it just would not go away and I didn't know what to do.
For our audience members who are not familiar with that condition, what does it feel
like? It's like a tightness in the bottom of your foot, like right under like the arch, and it like pulls, and sometimes it even feels like a pain right in the heel.
Do they have any reason they say that like what aggravates this or creates
So
it?
he said it was related to my calves and my Achilles, and I had no idea. So
That
I
they
did.
were too tight? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it was from CrossFit,
Yeah.
and I think it was from like jumping related stuff.
So this was all Jacob's fault. just kidding, Jacob.
The thing is, when you get to CrossFit, you get competitive because everybody else is around you.
Yeah.
So if you have a competitive spirit, you may not want to be in CrossFit because you might injure yourself from being too competitive.
I'm still falling back on she was going to quit after the first day. And now she's like hurting herself from hitting it so hard.
Yeah, so the plantar fasciitis, I couldn't fix that through yoga because I didn't know, and so I went to acupuncture, and he actually like helped the muscles release, and then it started resolving within like a month.
So you're an advocate for
acupuncture? Oh yeah.
Now, I've always been curious about that. Does the needle, when it's inserted, is it like a shot, like where it hurts?
I mean, if he puts it certain times, you might feel a little twinge at first, but then you don't feel it afterwards.
Have you tried it, Jim?
No, my chiropractor has a massage therapist, and we had talked about doing it, but
Acupuncture.
no, I never did it.
Yeah.
I think it's therapeutic. It's by never matter. But I think if you think too much about the needle, it's just. But I don't know how it releases the toxins in your body and all that stuff.
It's like a trigger point therapy. Like, so it like comes in, and I think it's like it's something with the nerves, and it helps them to like signal to like release stuff.
I just realized he's the wrong one to talk about needles, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Jim, what happens to you once a month right now?
Well, no, I'm done.
I know, but tell what was happening.
I've counted them. I've had 17 shots in my eye, my left eye.
So his tolerance for needles is beyond human at this point.
And it's like the most. Where else would you rather have a shot?
Nowhere else.
Anywhere. I would rather have it anywhere
You
other
can't
than my
close
eye.
your eye.
Yeah.
You can't look away.
Leg,
No.
like,
So kudos to Jim for handling it like a champ.
Yeah.
wow.
So, okay, so now you get past the plantar.
Yeah, yeah. So, the plantar fasciitis, that just lasted way too long, in my opinion. But I didn't address it soon enough.
So now, do you feel like with the yoga that you are a lot more in tune with your body in terms of injury prevention and daily health?
I would say I definitely notice like more soreness than I used to.
Yeah.
And I think, am I just getting old, or am I just way more aware of how my body feels?
Okay.
So I think before, like, I just wasn't aware of when I had tightness, or like when when you're tight, like from working out or whatever, you feel more tired, and you don't realize you're more tired because of that. But then you do a little like yoga stretching session, and you feel a lot better because you've like helped your body to like relax and release. And
That all sounds positive to
Yeah.
me. When you say the word awareness, it reminds me of this biology teacher I had, Mr. Mitchell, over at Reed Lee High when I was there for one semester. And he said, and Jim, I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but he said, hey, when your body is feeling pain and you take medication, that masks the pain but doesn't address the root of the problem. So as soon as the medication wears off, the pain returns. He says if you want to be effective at addressing pain within your body, you have to identify the root of the cause. And out of all the things he shared that semester, that stuck with me. And so my family, they always get on me, especially Pearl, my wife. She's like, just take some aspirin. I'm like, no, I want to figure out what it is, because as soon as the ibuprofen or whatever that is wears down, I'm dealing with that pain again.
right, I am the exact same way.
So I've become a root of the problem type individual.
Yeah, I will not take medication if I can help it.
Just
I
she's
will
like,
just
why are
not
you
do it."
suffering? Just
Well, I won't take allergy pills. I have allergies all year round. But I find when I take allergy medicine and then I don't take it, my allergies are like 10 times worse. So I'm like, I'd rather deal with like a little bit of discomfort than like, a bunch of discomfort from not taking it. Plus, I'm putting synthetic stuff in my body and like nothing.
I heard one about allergies. You two chime in if you've heard this too. That if you take I think it's 1 tablespoon of honey from bees that have to be in the area that you live in, that would help alleviate allergies. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I do that.
And that did
Like
it work?
almost daily. Yeah.
Does it work?
It does, but I find that it works best when you drink it with lemon.
So the lemon.
Lemon has antibacterial properties. So I find like when you're taking, like I do a hot lemonade. So it's like lemon juice squeezed with hot water and then the honey,
Yeah.
local raw honey. And
That's how you start the day. Wow.
yeah, and I'll start the day that way, especially my allergies are acting up a lot. Because I'm prone to like sinus infections and all kinds of stuff. Ever since I moved to Visalia for some reason, like sinus infections, all the
Well,
trees and stuff they have, right?
Yeah, well, not only that, but I don't know if this has to do with it, but you know when they give out those pollution
Yeah.
research, you know, throughout the United States, like Visalia pops up.
Yeah.
Fresno.
We have terrible air.
Yeah, because you know everything.
Yeah.
So I always wonder if that has to do with it. I've had friends who've taken their children out of the valley and over to the Central Coast, and symptoms have either
Right.
dissolved or reduced.
I went to Tennessee one time, and that was the best time of my life.
You were like,
I
"Can
could breathe. My eyes were completely white, and I was like, "Whoa, this is why? What's with my eyes? Like, because it wasn't normal. Like, I'm used to a little bit of bloodshot eyes from having allergies. It's terrible. But I was
Just
like,
a
why
shot
is
of
my
blood.
eye so white? That's so weird. But that's normal, right? And
Yeah.
but you know the normal, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, getting back to awareness, like I feel like yoga, but specifically meditation, has really brought a lot of awareness to my life, and I had like a whole spiritual awakening when I started meditating. Like, it
I'm
was like
sold right there.
it was like I'm the observer of my thoughts, and I control my life, and I don't have to just do what other people tell me to do, and like it was all these things.
You're the next Joe Dispenza.
I really love his stuff.
So
Yeah.
here's, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. And I remember you spoke briefly on this because we were doing the speed networking. We didn't have a whole lot of
Yeah,
time. But you said that you have some sort of approach to addressing trauma.
Yeah.
Could you share that with us?
Sure. So I'm actually becoming a hypnotherapist. So I'll be certified in 2 weeks, and I've been studying and practicing for like a year almost now. But I'm going to actually be using that to infuse into my classes because I do guided meditations. And when I started meditating, I started with guided meditations, and I feel like they're really helpful for the busy mind. You know what I mean? So the hypnotherapy actually helps. It's like a 6-session package the way I'm learning. And it's like you have a breakthrough where you're finding out what's going on with the person, what's wrong, what are they struggling with, and then what are their limiting beliefs based on the interview, what are their limiting decisions, and what are the negative emotions that are like sticking and like helping or stopping them.
Is this based off
And
of
being
anyone's?
Yeah, so
Framework.
Dom the Hypnotist on YouTube. His name is Dominique Bernoncini.
Man, I got 2 new places I got to go. Adrian and Dom, I'm coming.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's just one of the hypnotherapists I would watch. But one day I was watching one of his videos, and I had already got a hypnotherapy certification through Udemy. And I was like, okay, I hear all the things and I know all the things, but
Yeah.
like, how do I put them all into action? Because like the course didn't cover that, in my opinion. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm doing this retreat in May because I'm doing a retreat in May. So, and we can get on that later. But I wanted to know that I knew exactly what to do to help people move past trauma, as you call it, or limiting beliefs, and help them to like really create a life of their dreams, kind of like I was doing because I had been hypnotizing myself. Joe Dispenza's meditations. You know what I mean? Like he uses hypnotic techniques in
I
those
didn't know
meditations.
that.
He does, yeah. Like the deep breathing, like the
Yeah.
progressive relaxation, like those are all like how you do like hypnosis, and telling you to like think of the emotions you don't want to have and let go of them, and what do you want to create. Like that's all like hypnotherapy.
Okay, so I'm old school, and I think Jim's in the same boat as me. When we think of hypnotists,
Yeah, you think of brainwashing.
no, the clock, watch this.
Right. And you
so
can
how do
you can do that.
So
you can.
okay, let's pretend
Yeah.
that I'm in a session, and you're the hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
How do you put me under?
So I would have you lay back at a 45-degree angle. And there's a couple ways.
Is
One,
this 45?
yeah, roughly. So there's a couple ways I could do progressive relaxation, and of course you always have your eyes closed for this. Progressive relaxation, which is like going through all the muscles in the body and like having them relax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that one where it's like your eyes are closed, you're here, and they're like Now release the tension from your scalp
Right.
down to your nose.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And deep
Got it.
breath and stuff. And then there's another version where you can have them walk down a staircase in their imagination. So as you're going down the staircase from
Yeah.
10 to 1, you're going down deeper and deeper
Oh.
and deeper into trance.
You
And
don't have a cup of tea that you're stirring the spoon, do you?
You watch too many movies.
I know, right? Like, this is Hollywood's
said
fault.
walking
It's all
down.
Hollywood's fault. So yeah, so walking down the stairs, and then once you get to the bottom, you're in trance, right? And so the point is to relax you so much that you're still focused and aware, but your body is completely relaxed, so you're able to tap into your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, for those who don't know what it is like your automatic programming, right?
Yeah.
You're
Autopilot.
yeah, you're driving to a location. You don't remember how you got there.
That's
All of a
happened to
sudden, you're
me.
there. Yeah,
That scares it.
right.
I'm like, what?
And you
was there
think,
a stop sign?
yeah, you think like, oh, I wasn't paying attention, but your automatic self was taking care of it. Your subconscious was taking care of it because it knows where to go.
That
Or have you
freaks me
been?
out.
Have you ever been on the phone and you're like talking to someone and you're supposed to go somewhere different than where you're supposed to go, and you start driving to like your home?
Yeah, Jim's got me lost multiple times with his conversations about our marketing and
Yeah. So that's like a form of trance. So we go into trance throughout our day, like just naturally. And we're really tapping into like using your imagination. So I'm just a guide. So I'm just like finding out the things. Then the next session we release whatever's going on. We talk to your subconscious mind, we relax again, and we release like the limiting belief or the limiting negative emotion. And a lot of times we start with anger because anger is one of the most strong emotions. And it's something you really want to let go of first, otherwise you might not be able to let go of the other things.
that's the like the dominant.
Yeah. And so it gets a little woo-woo, but it's like allow your imagination to go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it can be like real for you or it can be just metaphorical. But either way, like if your mind believes it, it's going to work. It's like placebo effect, just like Joe Dispenza talks about.
Yeah.
If you read the book, that's an amazing...
Which book are you referring to? Because I know he has multiple books.
So it's like You Are the Placebo.
Oh, okay.
That one is amazing. I think it's my favorite one. That
You
one
Are
and
the
Breaking the
Placebo.
Habit of Being Yourself. Those are amazing.
That's the one I heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, those are the meditations I listen to, the Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I did.
Okay, so I'm sure I have a bunch of audience members right now just
Yeah.
kind of sold on this whole thing, and they want to find you.
Yeah.
Where can we find April?
Well, I do have a YouTube channel. It hasn't been active in a couple of years, but
Okay.
I also have a website. So, Well Life Yoga and Health for both of those. For the website, all spelled out, wellifeyogaandhealth.com. Then I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook as well.
And now, let's say that I have an up and coming business, but my books are all messed up. Can I
Oh.
still come to you? Is there room
Yeah.
and space for that?
Yeah. So I do cleanup for books. I can teach you how to do your own bookkeeping, teach you how to use QuickBooks. I do have room for another monthly bookkeeping client if you don't want to do your own, if you're just like, take it and I don't want to do it and you just do the numbers. So I got that analytical, I got the creative, a little bit of
Wow.
everything.
'Cause,
Yeah.
you're just a wealth of resources. So, members, audience members, if you love what April's doing in any capacity, if anything she shared with you today resonates with you, we're going to put all the links to all things April in the description, and please reach out to her. One of the things that me and Jim talked about when we first started this channel is we want to offer value to our audience. And sometimes that value comes from the services that our amazing guests are able to offer. And I really think you have a lot to offer individuals.
Thank you.
I'm going to eventually, hopefully, get taught the downward dog correctly. But I am seriously, and we talked about this, hopefully getting into the hypnotherapy with
Yeah.
you at some point, and then I can come back on the show and say, hey guys, this is what it was like.
Yeah,
for
we
anyone-
need to regain our viewers from what they saw from that form. That form was so...
No, that's yoga. I'm talking about hypnotherapy,
No, I
the
didn't
trauma.
know. She's a jack of all trades. Is
Yeah,
what
we're
I'm
going to
hearing.
relieve you from the trauma of the downward dog.
Right.
Like, he did it wrong. I can't.
Yeah, so after you release the emotions, the limiting beliefs, that's when you move into the real work, right?
Okay.
So you go through, it's called a low road, high road hypnosis. What is your life going to be like if you continued on this path of procrastination and didn't do anything that you said you were going to do? How is it going to be on your deathbed? And you
Yeah.
go through the whole process and then like switch over to how would it be if you did take action and you did follow through
That's
on your dreams,
motivating.
and how would you be on your deathbed? Like, who would
So
that
basically, you
person be?
Mr. Scrooge yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, here you go, Scrooge.
Totally.
This is what it looked like. I love it.
And then there might be more releases and more breakthroughs to see if there's anything that's still like, nagging you.
Yeah.
And then the final one is a quantum leap. So it's like, what do you imagine your life to be like? And tell me all the details. Like, what do you want to happen? How do you want to feel? What's going to happen after? Like, how are people going to respond to you? Like, all the things, creating this dream reality. And then I create a hypnosis and you listen to it for 30 days. And I already have a client like who's seeing results. So it's really
So
amazing.
you're already a practicing hypnotherapist.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I thought you were.
No, it's just like the yoga. I started teaching before I even got certified.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. But I mean, really, it's kind of like practice right now. But I have like a yoga student who was willing to help me out with that. So
Okay.
she's already having results, and she's like, she was stuck. She couldn't do anything. She's dealing with a chronic injury, and she couldn't get herself to do anything, to do anything she wanted to do. She couldn't do anything she loved anymore. And it's weird, though. She got in an accident the other day after she already had all this pain, and she had to go to the ER. And she's like, I don't know what's happening. And I was like, you kind of probably brought it upon yourself, because it's energy. And so I know you weren't asking for an accident, but you asked the universe for something, and it took you down this path. Like, you didn't say specifics, what you wanted, how you wanted it to happen. And I said, maybe it's going to help you with finances. Maybe it's going to help you to get a new car. Like, you don't know what the results of it are going to be. And so I like to think of it like it's a Chinese parable. Have you heard that one with the Chinese farmer?
No.
So it's like there's a Chinese farmer, and one day one of his horses runs away, and the neighbors are like, oh, what bad luck. And he's like, could be good, could be bad, I don't know. And then he has like another horse, and his son is going in the field, and he's like hurts himself and injures himself, and they're like, oh, what bad luck. And he's like, I don't know, could be good, could be bad, kind of thing. And then the army comes in to recruit people, and they don't take his son because he's injured, and they're like, oh, what good luck. And he's like, I don't know, could be good, could be bad. So it's like that idea where it's like you don't know from one thing to the next if it's really going to be good or bad or what it's going to lead to.
How that plays out.
It's kind of like networking.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're going to meet and what it's all going to lead to.
End up on the couch with
Yeah.
headphones on.
It's all a journey. Life is a journey.
Poorly adjusted headphones.
It feels better now.
Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
April, for sharing everything.
Definitely.
We want to definitely hear more about this. Guys, if you like what you heard today, again, we're going to have all of her information on her description when we release this episode. And we definitely want to get back with April. Hopefully, I can take a hypnotherapy journey and then tell you guys how that worked out. And if you like the outcome, maybe you'll also work with April here in Visalia, California is where you can find her. Sorry, Georgia. I know you guys are pretty far away, but we have some Central Valley viewers that can utilize this. Now, is there any online work that you can do with people who may be distant?
Actually, the client that I'm working with right now, I'm just doing on Zoom, even though she's local.
Oh, okay.
And that's so I can record the hypnosis and send it to her afterwards for her to listen to.
Wow, so you can reach anyone in the country or outside the country.
Anybody, yeah.
I love the Zoom option.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for making the drive from Visalia. We appreciate it. From Rob Izquierdo and James Phillip, I almost said Jones. I don't know where that came from. James Phillip Chance.
Yep.
April Gutierrez in the house with us. Hypnotherapist. What else? Yoga.
Sound healing.
Sound
We didn't
healing.
touch on that.
Oh, everything. Everything.
Meditation.
Meditation. All things peace.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Until next time, guys, this is RobLive saying love, peace, and chicken grease. We out.